Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, as it should be, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Yes, you guys are seeing the title up above, down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. And I have got to be completely real. I am absolutely shook by this information. Okay. You know, we are so divided. Okay, we're so divided as a country. And then these kinds of moments need to wake us all up so that we can come together as a family. We can come together in unison in trying to get this kinds of stuff to stop happening, because it's happening way too often. Now we're hearing about it at a wedding, y'all. A wedding reception. Now, apparently there's going to be a press conference here at some point here very soon, hopefully sooner rather than later. I came here as quickly as I could to give you guys this update or this story and this case, and it's absolutely crazy. So if you guys could do me a favor, before we get into everything, hit that like button down below, hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, we're back on TikTok now. Rumble, Twitch, Kick. Please make sure you are following. Hit that reaction button. Of course, hit that follow for however long this lasts on this platform down here, just so you know. Okay? So please and thank you. Please make sure you're following and all that stuff as well. And I'm going to explain all that a little bit later on when we have a lull about this stuff with TikTok, because I'm back on TikTok. Okay, guys, just so you know. But anyway, please do me a favor. Subscribe. Make sure you do that. Hit that notification bell. And make sure you know when I'm live, whenever I'm uploading, because it's random. Make sure you hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Please and thank you. All right, PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, PascalMerch.com. Go check it out. All right, guys, we got to get into this. Now, first off, we got to get straight into this, okay? We'll talk about all the other stuff. Like, I know everybody's like saying, hey, congratulations, welcome back to TikTok and all that stuff. And, of course, please, guys, go do a mass follow on TikTok for me. If you're watching on the YouTubes, go over to my TikTok. Follow. Okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. But moving on, we got to get straight into the meat and potatoes, because I don't know when they're going to be doing a press conference here. So we got to do some serious catching up. All right. But for those y'all who don't know what's going on, there was a mass tragedy that happened. Multiple people hit. All right. And I got to use code words like a mug. Okay. They are watching. All right. They down here. Up here, we're cool for the most part. I stay clean. Okay. I'm pretty clean on all platforms. But for some odd reason, this platform, not so much. They don't really like what I've been saying. And I haven't been saying anything that bad or bad at all. But that's another conversation in itself. So there's been a mass tragedy. If there already was a presser, then that would be news to me. And we'll get straight into that when we get to it. All right. If I missed it, then I missed it. Then we'll talk about it. All right. But there was a mass tragedy. Multiple people hit in New Hampshire, at a country club, at a wedding freaking reception. Like I said, this makes no sense. You're celebrating two lives coming together and starting a new life together, right? in unison, right? Together as one, two people coming together as one, right? And somebody apparently went in and opened fire on these people, taking the life of one person and injuring multiple people. Another person was hit in the face. Okay? Thank you, Elise. Oh, thank you, WLP. Presser hasn't happened yet. Thank you. I was about to say, I didn't see any presser. You know what I mean? I've been listening to all kinds of stuff, trying to get as much information as I could on my way into this room and getting all set up and all my things ready to go. Okay? So there was also rumor about there possibly being two assailants. They found out that that is not true. They only have one assailant and one assailant only. That person has been detained. They have been arrested. They've been locked up, but not before they were able to do these unthinkable things that they were able to do. So we're going to get into this. But like I said, as much as we are as a country going off, pointing fingers at each other, getting mad for people wearing red hats or not wearing red hats. Okay, if you get what I'm saying. We really need to start coming together and trying to figure out what we can do to stop this kind of madness from happening. This madness happens too often. I'm getting sick of reporting this. I keep saying that every single time I report it because I'm sick of reporting it. We need to figure out something, and we can't keep pointing the blame on the other side. It is an us problem. Us as in U.S. This is a huge U.S. problem. It is us. It's not the left. It's not the right. It's not straight down the middle. It's not because somebody's trans. It's not because somebody is God-fearing Christian. Okay, none of that. This has to do with everyone. Everyone. And we need to figure something out as soon as possible. Let's get into this. Okay. Multiple people have been hit at the Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua, New Hampshire, according to the city's police department. Video surveillance showed one suspected monster assailant in the attack who has been detained, police said. Authorities initially believed there were two suspects. So that was going on right now. A bunch of people out here were sitting there saying and reporting, understandably, that there was two assailants. No, there's only just one. There's only one, okay? The New Hampshire State Police is assisting with the tragedy, okay, in their investigation. And this is what they said on X. So the Sheraton Nashua Hotel, just over a mile from the country club, will be used as a unification site, police have said. Authorities are asking residents to avoid the Sky Meadow area. Now, Senator Shaheen and Representative Goodlander said they are monitoring the incident. Billy and I are praying for those injured. There is no place in our state for this type of senseless violence. I mean, any state, any country. Another one, Goodlander says, my heart is with the victims, their families, and the entire Nashua family community as we await for more information. So a shelter-in-place order was issued for residents in nearby Dunstable, Massachusetts, out of caution due to the active threat in the city nearby. Okay, so that was ordered at around 8:31 p.m. So it instructed residents, to lock doors and windows, not allow strangers into their homes, and to stay inside until further notice. Sky Meadow Country Club, in addition to a golf course, is a private club serving as a venue for a variety of events, such as weddings, according to its website, including a wedding today. From my understanding, I would assume that there was more than just one wedding today. Okay? I mean, this is this is kind of prime time for weddings. All right? This is kind of prime time for weddings right now. Okay? And of course, Nashua is about 45 minutes from Boston on the Massachusetts border. So again, this is absolutely madness, what's going on here. Okay? Absolute madness that's going on here. So, of course, they're saying one has lost their life, multiple have been injured in this tragedy at this wedding, okay, at Sky Meadow Country Club in New Hampshire. So, a crazed monster stormed a wedding at a New Hampshire country club and opened fire, leaving one gone and several injured Saturday night. So, this person burst into the dining room at Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua around 7:30 p.m., spraying bullets at a frantic crowd until a heroic guest smashed a chair over his head. Witnesses told WHDH7 News. Let me see this. That's crazy. That's like the scene out of a movie, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? That's like the scene from a movie. You know what I mean? So this person comes in, he does what he does. Somebody runs up and smashes a wooden chair over his head, stopping him from doing what he did. Let's take a look at what they said here. Okay. And don't worry, we're going to be looking at some videos. Guys, you're not going to be able to hear it here. Okay. This is the first day back doing live stuff. Okay. On the Tiki. Okay. So you won't be able to hear any of the stuff that I play. So if you want to hop over to YouTube, you'll be able to hear everything, hear and see everything at the same damn time. Okay. Just so y'all know. But moving on. Suspect detained after a man was lost his life. Several have been wounded during this tragedy at this nightclub. So police detained a suspect in connection with a situation, with the tragedy in Nashua, New Hampshire on Saturday that left one person gone and several others wounded. Officers responding to 911 calls from the Sky Meadow Country Club. I'm so sorry, guys. Ooh. Country Club learned a man had entered the club and fired several shots, taking the life of one and leaving several others injured, according to a joint statement issued by the Attorney General and Nashua Police Department Chief. So, the suspected monster was detained on the scene by Nashua police officers, and there is no present threat to the public. So at first, everybody was really concerned, really concerned about there being two monsters, and there are only one, just so you know. Okay? So they don't say anything about over here about the smashing of the chair over the guy's head, but crazy enough, somebody was brave enough to run up and smash a chair over the guy's head. The man, whose name has not been released, was knocked to his knees, dropped his weapon, and then fled through the kitchen while yelling some things, quote unquote, a witness recounted to the outlet. So this monster was quickly arrested after fleeing the scene, according to the Nashua Police Department. Video surveillance has confirmed there was only one monster, one assailant, and they were currently being detained. Still, the scene is still active, as they said. It's still an active investigation, but there's no further danger to the public. Early reports from the scene said that there was a second assailant on the loose, but police said that there was only one assailant. This tragedy has left one person gone, which we already know. Another person was taken to Southern New Hampshire Medical Center with a GSW, while at least half a dozen others reportedly hurt when chaos erupted were hospitalized with non-GSW injuries, the outlet reported, citing sources. So again, this could actually happen. I mean, what do you think is going to happen when somebody pulls out a weapon and starts blasting? It's going to cause a lot of people to lose their minds, and there's going to be a serious panic. There's going to be people running on top of each other, people trampling on top of each other, all that stuff, trying to find a way to get the hell out of the place before people lose their lives, right? They're running, they're fleeing the scene, trying to protect themselves. So I can see a lot of people like twisting their ankles, hurting themselves, just trying to claw themselves out of a room where there's a person trying to take out as many people as they can right then and there, right? So again, this is insane. Now, some of you guys are wondering what's going on. This happened at Sky Meadow Country Club, all right? This person was arrested after opening fire at this country club at a wedding. At a wedding reception, wedding celebration, somebody ran up and started pulling the pew-pew, hurting people, causing chaos and mayhem in this particular wedding. Why? We don't know. A crazed lunatic may have just picked just any wedding, walked up to this country club and opened fire. I don't know. Okay? Don't know. But now I'm seeing somebody say something here. Let me see this. WLP just said, described by guest being interviewed as 6'3", slender male with a backpack, and he looked quote unquote weird. Interesting. Allie says this wasn't random, Pascal. I'm wondering if it was random. It may not have been random. I don't know if this was, if there's any connection of anything else. Maybe it's a disgruntled ex-boyfriend. Maybe it's a jealous ex of some sort. That could be it too. If I can't have you, nobody can, kind of thing. It could be that too. Don't know, right? But now we know that this person opened fire on innocent guests and loved ones at a country club in Nashua, New Hampshire. Taking the life of one, somebody else got hit in the face, allegedly, if you get what I'm saying, hit in the face. And then there's other people that are suffering non-threatening, non-GSW injuries as well. So hopefully there will be a press conference here shortly. I'm gonna pull that up here right now. We're gonna see some news as well, because of course we want to know what the heck's going on. Obviously, I don't know about you, but I'd like to know what's going on too. Let's see. Here we go. Looks like we got some press conference. Hold on, guys. I'm going to move this back a little bit because obviously they're just getting started and we're going to start popping. They've already been, they're 6 minutes in right now.
With the Attorney General's office, and the Attorney General's office is helping the Nashville Police Department in this investigation. We don't have a prepared statement, but we'll certainly take any questions, knowing that this is an active and ongoing investigation at this point, so the amount of information we can share is fairly limited.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, at this point, again, it is an active and ongoing investigation. We issued a news release in which an adult male entered the golf course area, and there was a shooting. An adult male died. Additional people were injured, and it's currently being investigated at this point.
Is this some sort of a hate crime, or what do you believe?
So there's a lot of details that we need to figure out, and we need to know that information before we can share it, and that's one of the details that we're trying to learn.
Well, we heard that he yelled out, "The kids are okay," and "Free Palestine." So what is that?
Yeah, well, we're dealing with the facts and the information that we gather, and once we
He
get
said
that
free
facts and
what?
information and have an actual motive
Say
that
what?
we can share, we'll certainly do that. But
Thank you,
right
Deanna.
now we
Thank
need
you.
to deal with the facts and the information. For example, there was some information that there were 2 shooters. That turned out to be erroneous. We can definitively say that there is only 1 shooter.
Was this a targeted shooting?
Again, that's facts and information that we're trying to develop right now.
How many victims?
1 adult male is deceased. There are multiple shooting victims. Again, we're trying to iron out that particular detail. Some of the shooting victims went to local fire departments.
Hold on. Let me make this abundantly clear, because we heard other things. And yes, guys, I'm talking to the people who are listening on TikTok, just so you guys know. So shout out to everybody who's in here. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. But they're saying, you heard that somebody apparently saying that he was saying free Palestine before he opened fire. That's what was being reported. Then also they're saying that there's multiple people that have GSWs, multiple people that have been hit with a weapon with bullets. Okay. More than just, oh my dear God, here we go. If things ain't worse, or if things ain't bad already, right? Now, let me hold on. Can I just roll this back just a little bit? I want to make sure we're confirming, because I want to make sure that that's actually what he said, or if he said, no, that's not what he said at all. I just want to make that because you know how people are. You know how we listen to every single thing. We're going, instantly when we hear, oh, he's described as 6'3" and, looking weird, we instantly are going, was he white? What was his race? Was he black? Could he have been trans? You see what I'm saying, right? Instantly, we're in that world where everyone's trying to categorize these assailants quickly. And right now, they said free what? And that instantly puts people taking this particular assailant right into a category like that. Yes, it's ridiculous. But let me just play that back one more time, and then I'm going to go back to where we were. I promise. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, but I want to make sure I get the facts right here. Okay? Because I could have that wrong.
I'm a prosecutor with the Attorney General's office, and the Attorney General's office is helping the Nashville Police Department in this investigation. We don't have a prepared statements, but we'll certainly take any questions, knowing that this is an active and ongoing investigation at this point, so the amount of information we can share is fairly limited.
So in other words, they don't really know anything right now at all. As of this press conference that we're watching right now, they have no earthly clue what the hell's going on. Okay, let's just continue on.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, at this point, again, it is an active and ongoing investigation.
They don't know
We issued a
anything.
news release in which an adult male entered the
Have
golf
mercy.
course area, and there was a shooting. An adult male died. Additional people were injured, and it's currently being investigated at this point.
Is this some sort of a hate crime, or what do you?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of details that we need to figure out, and we need to know that information before we can share it, and that's one of the details that we're trying to learn.
Well, we heard that he yelled out, "The kids are okay," and "Free Palestine." So what is that?
Yeah, well, we're dealing with the facts and the information that we gather, and once we get that facts and information and have an actual motive that we can share, we'll certainly do that. But right now we get to deal with the facts and the information. For example, there was some information that there were 2 shooters. That turned out to be erroneous. We can definitively say that there is only 1 shooter.
So in other words, okay, so the whole he said the kids are okay. This is what they're alleging that somebody heard him say, that the kids are okay, and then he said free Palestine. All right? This particular, I didn't hear what it kind of the press conference just hops right in, so I don't know who this guy is, but this gentleman right here is basically saying, like, we can't confirm or deny what was heard yet. In other words, everything's so fresh, they don't know a damn thing right now. I'm just going to be real, and I don't mean to be rude to local PD. They just don't have the answers right now. They just don't know anything. So if there's hearsay running around and somebody says, oh, I heard him say the kids are okay, free Palestine, how do we know? I'm just saying that really quick, because and now we have to be extremely cautious, guys. Extremely cautious before we jump down the road of, oh, that's what he said, so, oh, he's a damn leftist, damn lefty mother lover. No, time out. They can't confirm that yet. Unless we can actually hear from a reliable witness that says, I heard him scream whatever. We got to be caught. It's really not like it. Yes, I know it's LOL-ish type stuff, and I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to be real, because right now, what happened with the CK situation? You know, I got to use these code words, guys. I'm sorry, but you know what happened just last week. What we're walking into tomorrow, what we're observing tomorrow, the service that's happening tomorrow morning. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful on what we're hearing. Because instantly we're right now, because everything is so damn sensitive, people will be so fast to sit there and go, you leftist, you know what I mean? It's already bad. What happened to Jimmy Kimmel? What happened to Kimmel? What's going on with all things that are going on right now? It is absolutely nuck and futz going on right now, y'all. This is some crazy stuff that's going on. I haven't been able to tell you the tip of the iceberg of the stuff that's been going on, y'all. It's been insane. And now there's a possibility of people losing their civil rights, their constitutional rights right now. Number one, the freedom of speech. Okay? So we have to be very careful. We heard that from the reporter, but this officer or this particular gentleman right here cannot confirm if that is true or not. And we have got to hold on to that before we go off the rails, because I know everybody wants to find a villain. We're known for that. That's America right there. Okay? Proud to be an American. We're all about trying to find the villain. And then the Cowboys strap up their boots and they fling around their 6-shooters and save the day, right? Taking down the evildoers. Not today. Before we jump down that rabbit hole and assume, let's stop. Let's see what else we hear before we come to our final conclusion.
Why were they not taken to a hospital?
Again, some people went by themselves to local fire departments.
Can you tell us if the shooting was at the wedding or the restaurant?
Again, that information is still being developed, and as soon as we can share that without interfering with the integrity of the investigation, we certainly will do that.
Again, multiple people have been hit, just so you know. So it's not just one person, right? It's not just one person that got hurt. Another person got hit in the face. And of course, there's other, like what we just read in that article, it's not completely accurate. And that's just what happens. That's just what happens when it comes to fresh breaking news, when it comes to a tragedy like this. So that information is not entirely correct. We're hearing it from the source themselves. Multiple people were hit, but they're being sent to multiple different places, just so you know.
I think there was... there were some gunshot wounds. There may be some non-gunshot wounds. Again, that's one of the details that we're still trying to figure out as part of the investigation that Nashua is actively pursuing.
Where was the suspect arrested, and how long after the shooting was he laying in wait? Had he taken off on the scene?
Yeah, so no suspect has been arrested. A person of interest has been detained pending warrants at this point in time.
So a person of interest has been arrested. No suspect has been arrested. Why are they using that lingo? That's not good to hear. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Are you serious? So we're back with Tyler Robinson all over again? Huh? Okay. So a person of interest has been detained. Yeah, Herbs, I agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me pull this comment up on YouTube. At this point, this is irresponsible. Why are you doing a presser if you just have a person of interest in custody or detained? That makes no bloody sense, right? Does that make sense to you? Hamburger. Let's continue. Yeah, same as CK. Same as CK. And by the way, uh, I don't think Candace Owens was not invited to the memorial service. She said live on the show that she refuses to go because she thinks that is one big setup by the feds. But we're talking about Candace Owens, y'all. I know that's a little bit of a left turn, but I read a comment on TikTok. I just wanted to respond to that really quick. Okay. She said, I ain't going. I refuse to go. Because that thing is a full-on setup by the feds. Yeah. Like I said, she is, there are things that I appreciate about her when it comes to this case. But then there's these moments where I'm like, yo, now we need to tether you back down. Like, now we need to make sure you are tethered to the earth because you're spinning off the doggone planet. That's just my thoughts. But, that's another conversation as well. Let's continue.
But there has been no arrests. But we have identified all
No
the people
arrests.
involved in the situation. And
No
there's
arrests.
threat to the general public at this point in time.
Hamburger.
So is the person of interest here, were they located in relation to?
Again, that's information that we're developing, and we can share that. When we can share that, we certainly will.
Do we know the type of weapon that the suspect or person of interest had?
No, other than a firearm, no. And we also don't know if there are additional weapons involved.
Do you know if the suspected shooter was connected to the wedding or the restaurant in any way?
Yeah, again, that's one of the things that we're certainly trying to find out and trying to develop. And once we can share that, we certainly will.
Chief, I guess when you have a weapon involved, can you just talk about this as a public event? There's a wedding going on, people enjoying a night in Nashua. Can you just step on the microphone and just talk about all this happening? And people are supposed to feel safe and have an enjoyable night.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance.
So I think one additional thing that we needed to know is that any family members are looking for family members. I think the point of meeting place is here at the Sheridan in Nashua. So if anybody is looking for any family members who might have been at any of the events at the golf course, come here and they can be assisted.
Do you know how many people were at the wedding?
Don't.
A witness said that people there at the venue tackled the shooter.
Let's see how much notes I can get.
Can you confirm that, or can you talk about that?
I can't talk about that now. Again, it's still active and ongoing. The Nashua Police are doing a great job gathering evidence, finding witnesses, talking to witnesses. But this incident is only a few hours old. There are multiple witnesses that need to be talked to, multiple
makes
videos
sense.
that need to be obtained and then looked at. So once we get a fuller understanding of what happened, including possible motive, we certainly will share that when we can do so. And again, I think it's too early to talk about what some people might have thought happened and focus on facts and evidence, which we're still gathering.
Oh,
Of this incident and
Hold on, guys. I gotta-
the surveillance video and determine
I want to say something.
there weren't two shooters.
So in many cases, there's videos, and I think this case would be no different. As to the extent of video, again, that's something that's still being developed in terms of not only video from the scene, but video from surrounding areas that could shed light on how people got there and other type of information.
Okay, so real quick, I'm sorry for breaking it down like this, but this is what we got to do for right now, okay? Because we are a few minutes behind anyway. So it is what it is. We're watching it, we're breaking it down and watching it live together as a family. Yes, family over everything, right? Fast and the Furious. But anyway, here's the thing. They know nothing. They don't have anything. Steak was overcooked. I'm done, Tracy. But here's the thing. They don't know anything. That's basically it. They don't have any information. I don't know why they decided to do a press conference now. Why didn't they just decide to do it first thing in the morning when they know a little bit more information? But no, love. They have no information, love. They just went right in this and just gave it to us. And they're going, oh, yeah, we don't have anything. Sorry. No information whatsoever. But here it is, though. Anyway. You know what I mean? So, this is a nothing burger so far. Can you tell us if they were screaming any type of political views or anything? Can't give you that. Sorry. Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the suspect? Oh, no, sorry. Correction. We have a person of interest detained, and we are questioning that person, but that person is not under arrest, just so you know. And we still don't have any information. So possibly this monster could still be at large, but we'll let you know when we figure that out a little bit later. So again, I feel like it's safe to say that the guy that they have detained is the guy, but at the same time, that the fact that they're still sitting here saying, well, we got somebody detained, we're working on it, it's just asinine to me. It is. This is crazy, right? Am I the only one who's seeing this and going, are we reliving what we lived? Are we reliving what we lived last week all over again? Damn.
There's a vehicle at the fire department that has yellow tape around it. Is that connected to the suspect? Is that where he left the vehicle and went into the venue?
Yeah, frankly, I don't know that information, so I can't provide any insight on that. Anything else?
Oy, oy, oy.
For many people out there this evening with the lockdown that was in place, just any words to kind of quell some of those fears, maybe for people out there who are worried or concerned?
Well, so I work with homicides, and every homicide is a concerning situation. But at this point in time, Nashua has done a great job at identifying all the relevant parties and making sure that at this point in time, there's no further threat to the public. So that's what we stated in the press release, and we feel confident repeating right now. Again, there was an erroneous statement. There were two shooters. It's believed there's only one shooter, and we have a person of interest who has been detained, and there is no threat to the general public. So we stated those with assurance in the news release, and we can repeat those today and right now.
They have nothing.
Mayor, just, you've been a fixture in this community for decades, and just your reaction tonight to what's transpired and gone on, and your feelings about it.
Well, for any community like ours, this is a big tragedy that there would be such an incident. We are lucky that we have the National Police Department, and I'm confident that they will get to the bottom of this and will bring the appropriate people to justice.
Mayor. This is the mayor of New Hampshire, or of Nashua, New Hampshire.
That's right. I mean, I've heard from other mayors in other places. Of course, it happens in Dayton and all these other places. But and it always crossed my mind, well, it's unlikely ever to happen in Nashville, but now it has. And
At a wedding.
the message is for every community out there that no matter how unlikely it seems, it can happen. It can happen where you live.
And even just though there was loss of life of one person at a wedding going on next year, all the people in there, this could have been in this day and age of mass shootings, this could have been markedly different.
And I don't know the extent of the number of people who were injured or shot, so I can't really. I mean, one person is too much, and it sounds like there were more. So hopefully, it's as few as possible. It's a difficult situation for so many. How are you feeling this evening? Sad, and thinking about the families that were affected, and it's just for us sad that it happened in our community.
Can you just talk about the swift action of your department? I know you train on these sorts of incidents, but can you step to the microphone and just explain how quickly your officers were able to diffuse the rumors, find the person of interest, and calm things down?
Sure, they worked together.
This is insane.
It was a quick response. One going into a dangerous situation like that, but we train that way. The teamwork, the officers, what they did was remarkable.
Are there any federal agencies involved in this, or is it all?
Yes, we had to call in.
Saying
Obviously
it's
an event
definitely in a foot.
that was reported. We called in mutual aid from several towns and some federal agencies.
Thank you, Amanda.
Is it
Let me
involved
see.
an active shooter? What type of call do you get when something is happening in such a public place?
To be honest with you, I don't know exactly how it came in. And shots fired, active. I don't know.
Chief, were officers already at the scene, present?
Again, I don't know that. I got here as quick as I can, and the information obviously is pretty coming from different angles and stuff like that. They're trying to weed out what's real, what the Attorney General said. So
Talk about the cooperation, interstate cooperation from New Hampshire, Massachusetts, because the communities on both sides, some people shelter. But can you talk about how you're able to work together?
yes, we have great partnerships with Massachusetts is a stone throw away. I'm getting calls from the chiefs and
There's
other
only a little bit
departments
left
that
here.
Want to come assist. So
It looks like.
we talk about brotherhood, and they're there when it really gets tough. So we had multiple agencies come in and responding right away. Phone call away to Colonel of State Police, Sheriff Newcomb, and they were here pretty quickly.
And I mean, I'm really thankful that their response was very fast. This wasn't like it didn't take very long for them to respond when 911 calls were made and all that. But yes, of course, without them all working together, this would not be possible. This is live or was live. It's it's near the end of it. It looks like it looks like it's over after them just taking a few questions. So let me get over to what they talk about here real quick.
And walk down to and ultimately came here. Give them an idea of when they might be able to retrieve their things.
Yeah, it's still active, and we're still up there working.
We got a couple other witnesses and stuff.
Limit on that. I'd like to. I know everybody would like to get their property or their cars back, but it also is an active investigation. So we're not going to disturb the crime scene.
Again, this still is an active and ongoing investigation. We expect there'll be further developments, but in terms of further news releases, I expect that those will be once the deceased person's family has been notified and an autopsy has been conducted. We typically put out a news release that'll probably be tomorrow. And if and when there's an arrest, there'll also be a news release on that. To emphasize again, that person of interest has been detained. There has been no arrest at this point in time. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Can you tell us your name again?
Arrest at this again, that person of interest has been detained. There has been no arrest at this point in time. Okay.
So no arrest at this point in time. They do have a person of interest that has been detained, but that person has not been arrested. Just so you guys know. Now, they're sitting there saying this is still an ongoing investigation. They're still trying to figure everything out. They do not know anything, which is pretty wild. They don't know anything. With all due respect, they don't know anything. That's literally it. They don't know anything. They are trying to figure all of it out as best as they can, but they do not have the answers at all. But we do have a few takeaways. Number one, they don't know a damn thing. And I don't mean to be rude. And I don't mean to laugh about it. I'm just saying, like, they just don't know anything right now, right? They don't know anything right now, but they will know something more later. They have somebody detained in questioning, but that person is just a person of interest. They are not, I repeat, they are not a suspect, and they are not under arrest. So all they're doing is bringing in this particular person, and hopefully the person is the assailant. But that's all they got. They don't know the motive. They don't know why this guy did what he did. They don't know anything at all, which is absolutely insane. I want to share this, guys. Share this with you guys. There's a video. It's a short, but I'm going to play it for you guys anyway, because I think this is also Very interesting. A witness talking about what they experienced. So let's take a look at this, and I'll explain it. You guys aren't going to be able to hear it. I'll explain everything in just a minute. And just so you know, Crystal, on TikTok, there was not 2 assailants, just one. Just so you know, just one assailant. They're saying that even at the press conference. They said there's only one assailant, not 2, just one. And I don't know. Here's the thing. Why would they lie if there was more than one? Because that's putting the community at danger if there's more than just one person, right? So again, they said that they've looked over the footage, and they say that there's only one assailant. So we have to take them for what it's worth, right? So again, this is some very crazy stuff, but here we go. Let's take a listen, and you guys won't be able to hear this. I'll explain it in just a minute, okay? Just give me a second. It's just short, so it's very quick.
Pop, pop. And then gun, run, and people started screaming and running. Some people ran out the door, some people ran into the kitchen, and people just ran in all different directions.
Screaming,
Yes, screaming, screaming,
crying,
screaming.
just for their life.
Yes. You know, you read about it in the news, you hear about it. Like I said, doing the training, we practice this in school, you know, doing the practice. But when it actually happens, it's like fight or flight. It's just, run. If I went to my right, out the doors, out to the exit, to my
This is
right,
crazy.
was the entrance to the restaurant, the Prime Restaurant, where the shooter was, where we heard the shots. So I knew not to go. I didn't want to go out that direction because I'm thinking, what if he has a gun and now he's shooting at people running out the door, at your back or whatnot? You don't know. So I said, I just hid under a table.
That's scary. Now, this particular person is saying it was just absolute pandemonium. Nothing that she ever thought that, nothing that she's ever prepared for, right? She says, oh yeah, we prepare for these things, with school tragedies, you get prepared for those things, but then you never prepare for that kind of thing to actually happen. And then when it happens, you're just, obviously, what do? You go, it's fight or flight. What she did, she hid under a pantry table and waited for it all to stop, for it all to be over. That's insane. Here's another one, I think. Hold on. Let's see.
Shaken, of course. Shaken, of course. Especially when we're about a half hour away eating dinner and I get the call from my daughter that there was a shooting. And then, of course, we head right down here. We got in before they shut everything down.
I mean, it just makes you, it makes you wonder why, right? It makes you wonder why people do what they do. Why are they doing what they did? Why? I know I don't have the answers, right? I can't read people's minds, but it is pretty insane to think that somebody would actually go out of their way to go to a place where they're celebrating 2 people's lives joining to become one, only for it to go this way, right? To go and just disrupt this situation. Now, hold on real quick. 6.5. I'm actually looking. I'm trying to find that interview. Okay. I really am. I promise you, I'm looking for that. And I don't know if that's from the same woman that we just saw a second ago, but I'm trying to see if maybe that's what this is too. Because there's a new interview, fuller interview of the woman that we just heard talking about how she hid under a table. So I'm going to click on that really quick so we can take a listen to that too.
Yeah, we're hearing from those firsthand accounts about what exactly happened here, and it involves what that woman describes as one shooter going in to the Sky Meadow Country Club here where this all unfolded. There was a wedding that was going on, but according to that witness, she said the shooting occurred in a restaurant that is adjacent to the ballroom for the wedding. She described hearing several gunshots, and that's when people eventually ran for cover. As you can imagine. It's a wedding. There's loud music and just lots of noise in general. So people didn't know exactly what it was at first. People described hearing the gunshots, and then she says someone yelled gun, and that's when everyone ran for cover. Now, the scene is up the road for me here. This is a fire station that's right around the corner. So the people who were at the wedding, they came down to this fire station. A bus took them to the Sheraton Hotel, which is also down the street from here, just a couple of minutes away. That's the reunification center. And it's also where the woman who was at the wedding says that's where they were spending the night, the hotel for the wedding. Now, we do want to give you play you some sound from this woman. Again, this is just confusion and utter chaos she describes. Listen here.
Okay, here we go.
We had just gathered around the dance floor. We were about to do a Greek smashing of the plates and throwing the dollar bills. The bride had just come up to me and gave me the plates to say, all right, you give this to my husband. And all of a sudden we heard pop, 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 pop. Heard 5 shots. All of a sudden heard gun, chaos, screaming, and then running. It was just the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I heard people yelling. I ran and knew that the gunman came from the
1 second, guys.
The restaurant, which is right on the other side of the door. I was on the left side. I knew that he was on the side. If I went through the doors to my left, it would have brought us to the outside doors. And the gunman was in that area, so I knew not to go out that way. So I hid under a table. I just heard the commotion, heard someone running through. He went into the kitchen area and heard
my
people,
God.
Making comments about he had blood on him.
I don't hear anything so far about the free Palestine thing. I haven't heard anything yet. Okay, I'm still trying to find that. I haven't seen that interview yet, and maybe there's another interview somewhere. Maybe you guys know where that is, so I can see it for myself. But at the same time, think about how terrifying that is. She just described that, the bride came up to her because she was a part of this wedding. They're in the restaurant adjacent to the actual place where the wedding was taking place. She's like, hey, I need you to, I want you to hear the plates. I want you to hand this over to, my husband, my new husband type thing. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of pop noises went off. Pandemonium happened. She ran into the kitchen area, dropped under the table of a pantry table, and she could hear the guy walking through the area and like yelling about red on his clothes because of what he was doing. But she doesn't say anything else. Yeah, this is traumatizing. That you could hear it in the panic in her voice. She's tripping, and I understand that. This is terrifying. Imagine being under a pantry table, praying to God or whatever you believe in, hoping that guy isn't going to start looking under furniture. Real talk. It's terrifying. And this just happened today, this evening, at a freaking wedding. That's insane, y'all, man. Golly. It just angers me so much. We got some serious problems with this country, man. In this country, we got some serious problems. This is one of the main issues. There's something that has got to change, okay? But we're too busy turning on each other. And then by us turning on each other, this is only emboldening and incentivizing monsters like this to do things like this. These are people who should be celebrating love. This is a moment of love and happiness. And now you have a death at a funeral, a death at a wedding, right? This is insane. Let me continue a little bit more on this, okay? Yeah, it's very upsetting, Q. It's just insane, okay? But so far, I haven't seen anything about the free or him saying the kids are all right or whatever the heck it is. I'm still looking, though. I am still looking. Let me just play a little bit more of this interview or this news clip. But this is just nuggin futz, y'all.
So that woman also says that the gunman, he ran through the wedding itself. So the shooting occurred in the Prime restaurant, which is right next to it, and the shooter ran through the wedding itself. That woman also says that someone at the wedding, a Good Samaritan there, grabbed a chair, hit the suspect over the top of the head, which caused him to apparently drop the gun that was at the center of all of this. That's when she says that he took off running and ran away from that scene. Now, police say that they do have one suspect in custody at this point. There were reports originally that there may have been two suspects, so police were searching at another location in nearby Dunstable, Massachusetts, but they went back, looked at the video footage. They determined that no, there was only one suspect. They say now there is no threat to the public, but we do know that one person is dead as a result of this shooting, at least one person. Several other people also injured. We also spoke off camera with a woman who works for the venue. She says that one of her coworkers was shot in the face, and it was just a terrible situation.
Again, you know, someone got hit in the face, so multiple people got hurt. It's not just one GSW and that was it, and that person, you know, passed away from their injuries. Right? This is somebody. More people got hit. You heard that witness say that she heard him yelling about having red on his clothes. So it was more than just one person that he hurt. He walked in and he did some serious damage. And there is reports of another person that actually was hit in the face. And that person, God knows what happens, right? God knows what's going on. So again, this is just some wild stuff. I am still looking to see if there's anything about hold on. Like there's something I'm seeing on Instagram, but I don't see that being a reliable source, okay? About the yelling, what he was yelling, but we don't know if that is absolutely 110% true. With all due respect. But yeah, I have yet to see any interviews, but I am still looking. I'm not giving up. I'm still looking because I want to see, you know, if there's any other interviews, right? Because you'd think that there'd be more interviews by witnesses other than just that woman that spoke, which still what a terrifying retelling of what she went through. Terrifying. One second. Yeah, some of these other ones are like talking about the reunification, but I don't see anything about anyone talking about what they were yelling, what was being said. So far, nothing. Just some Instagram post that I don't believe. Okay. Like some Instagram post that I don't see as credible. I'll just say that respectfully. But I'm looking elsewhere just to see. Just to see if there's anything else. Just grant me a little grace, guys. Okay. I'm just looking up information just to see if there's anything anywhere else. Okay. But this is very, very sad. Okay. Very, very sad. Okay, found it. Someone just pulled it up. Someone just pulled this up. It's 30 seconds long. I'll explain everything. I know you won't be hearing it. You won't be able to hear it on here on TikTok, but I'll explain everything in just a minute. So apparently it was someone who said, I heard the assailant say this. Okay, just so you know, I'm getting it from this mass assailant said free Palestine before the actual attack. According to this, I'm assuming this particular eyewitness. Okay. No, I didn't think y'all were lying. I was just saying I haven't seen it anywhere. I didn't see it anywhere. But that's very interesting that this guy is saying this. Let's hear it.
You get the sense that they knew who.
Didn't hear anything. He just came out and said.
What he said.
Yeah, what he said was the children are safe and, you know, free Palestine.
He said the children are safe and then free Palestine. There it is. This is what this guy said.
What was that moment like when you heard the gunshots?
At first, I didn't realize it was gunshots. It sounded like balloons because, you know, we were at a festivity thinking, maybe somebody popped a balloon. But then you look around, we didn't have balloons. And then it got serious because there was 2 and then 4 right away. That's what I heard anyway.
Did people start running right away?
They ducked and covered and started.
I'm going to play that again.
You get the sense that they knew who.
Didn't hear anything. He just came out and said.
What he said.
Yeah, what he said was the children are safe and, you know, free Palestine.
What was that moment like when you heard the gunshots?
At first, I didn't realize it was gunshots. It sounded like balloons because, you know, we were at a festivity thinking, maybe somebody popped a balloon. But then you look around, we didn't have balloons.
Okay.
And then it got serious because it was 2 and then 4 right away. That's
okay. So again, wait, hold on. Holly just said, Pascal, chat been mentioning the DJ interview if you can find that. DJ interview, I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to look for that. Because it's like some of this stuff is slowly but surely starting to kind of creep out. Like this just dropped 12 seconds ago. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Somebody posted this 12 seconds ago. See right here. 12 seconds ago. I mean, obviously it's not 12 seconds ago anymore, but when I saw it, it was just posted 12 seconds ago. So again, you know, if there is something about, if there's something more, like a DJ getting interviewed, if somebody has that, please send it my way because I'd like to see it too. But apparently, and I'm wondering who this guy is too. The guy we just listened to, was he someone who was in? Was this guy like in the at ground zero, or was he somewhere else? You see what I'm saying? Because he could have heard something and maybe he said, you know what I mean? I mean, anything's possible, right? But nonetheless, this is crazy. Let's see. DJ, I'll just put that in there. See if there's anything.
Yeah, we're
Hold on a second, guys. Wait a second. Hold on. See, people. Okay. I'm just going to say this really quick. I'm just going to say this out loud. People are so quick to put out stuff to say, like, people are very quick to put out faces and names and all that when there's no proof of that particular person. Yet they have not put out any information about the actual assailant so far that I've seen, because they say they have a person of interest locked or, in question, but there is no proof that that person, they have not said that that person is actually the assailant. And there are people online already putting people's faces out here saying, oh, it's this dude. It's this guy, right? Because he has all kinds of things to say on his on his websites and on his blah, blah, blahs and all that. And it's like, wait a second, hold on. Before you start just assuming this is somebody, let's make sure it's actually the person before you start pointing fingers and saying something that's not true. But what's really sad about this is that there are going to be people that are going to take what that guy said, that eyewitness said, and they're going to run with it. Because maybe I'm sure it's what he heard, but there's a lot of things that can be misconstrued or misunderstood unless he was right there in the room, ground zero, heard the guy say those words before he opened fire. I think that part is really, really important, because right now, with everything that we are dealing with right now, this is not the time for us to just be saying certain things for the sake of saying certain things. I need Tucker. I need a little bit more confirmation before, I need to hear that from 5-0 themselves before I go all the way in being like, oh, damn, that dude had to say that. Man, that mother lover really had to say all that. You know what I mean? So before we jump down that rabbit hole and go with all the assumptions, okay, thinking the worst of the worst, I think it's safer for us to wait for more information on that. This is what happened to CK, right? There was all kinds of stories being flown out the woodwork before we found out exactly who this mother lover is, even though some of y'all don't think that guy is the guy, which is, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But nonetheless, I think they got the guy. That's just me. Let's see. Wedding DJ. Let me try that. Wedding DJ. Skadoosh. Let's see if there's something from a wedding DJ. Oh, that was 5 years ago. Hold on. Yeah, I don't see anything about a wedding DJ yet, but let me see. I'm not done yet. Shares what he saw at the scene. Okay.
Shocking information, Jack. Thank you for being on the phone with us. I know that this went from having maybe a couple of cocktails on the patio with your friends and your buddies after.
Now, this is just a witness. I don't know who this guy is, but apparently, I guess he's on the phone expressing or telling his side of the story or what he witnessed as well. Now, I just want to say this really quick before we get going. You won't be able to hear this right here on Tiki Talk. I'll explain everything in just a minute, okay? Let's rock and roll.
Round of golf today, and you mentioned that you heard shots fired. Can you tell us, was it several rounds of shots? Was it a couple of pops? What did you hear exactly?
It sounded like about 6 or 7 shots is what I heard, and it was just so much to process all at one moment in time, and I just didn't know what to do except for run.
And Jack, too, give us sort of the lay of the land of Sky Meadow, because you can have a golf round with your pals out there, but there might also be a wedding going on, and then there might be another room where there are just folks coming out for dinner. So what does it look like on the inside? How many different rooms are there on the inside? And can you tell us in what proximity did you hear those shots fired? Was it in a ballroom of sorts, or a place where sort of a gathering might be going on?
Yeah, so there's a couple rooms upstairs, the restaurant, and then the ballroom, which typically has the weddings and celebrations. And I was just on the 18th green. It looked like everybody was getting ready to celebrate the wedding, and it sounded like it was happening from the restaurant because it sounded so close, and it was just insane.
And Jack, I can imagine it was chaotic. It was, as you mentioned, hard to process everything all at once. Walk us through how you eventually got to a safe place and ended up being okay.
Yeah, so I had dead sprinted from where I was to the first tee box, just a spot that I thought would be safe. And I heard my friend yelling my name. And so I gave him a call. It didn't go through. I called him again, and he said, meet me at the car barn. It's not safe to be here. And so I sprinted down there, and I'm just so lucky that he was down there able to pick me up. And we just drove away safely. And I'm just lucky to be where I am right now.
I'm reading something off off camera, off screen. I just want to say this to you guys here too, because there's a lot of people, of course, saying, witnesses talking about the experience that what they saw, etc. They, of course, they said they saw. Okay, so hold on one second. Just trying to get this. Let me get this right. Okay. So, okay, that person. Okay. Full member. Okay. So somebody said that they saw the assailant walk across the dance floor into the kitchen. He walked through the kitchen and went up to other guests and flipped them off and said various things and walked right out the back door of the kitchen. Another wedding guest. Whoa, this thing keeps on refreshing like crazy. Hold on. Sorry, guys. So then this another wedding guest also said that the assailant walked through the party and the kitchen. He said the children are safe and free Palestine. So then reporters asked Hinckley about the assailant's possible motive. They said, we're dealing with the facts and the information as we gather. And once we get the facts and information, we have an actual motive we can actually share. We'll certainly do that. So they still, of course, like I said, they have no idea what the hell's going on. Video surveillance has confirmed that there was only one assailant, and they are currently being detained. But they're saying that this is a person of interest and not the suspect, which I'm hoping and I'm assuming it is the suspect, right? Let's be real, okay? But the scene is still an active investigation. No further danger to the public. So in other words, they got the guy, okay? They definitely got the guy. But yeah, from what I'm reading here, I mean, the guy walked in acting a fool. One person so far said that he yelled out "Free Palestine." That's all we've heard so far. But there's no proof so far. We haven't heard anybody else backing up that story yet. But I'm sure there will be more saying, yeah, that's what he actually said. But I'm wondering who the F this guy is, right? So he entered the club, fired several shots. We already knew about the adult male that lost his life. May they rest in peace. Mass casualty incident. Several people were actually hit. Only one person appeared to have opened fire. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking around to see if there's anything from a... I'm wondering if there's anything being said, as far as like, when you guys said, oh, a DJ, said something. But I haven't heard anything. Smoochie Bird just said, thank you so much for the comment. The DJ said he heard him say a lot of profanity, etc. So you never know. But yeah, that's the thing. Where's the DJ interview? And it sounds like it was a Greek wedding. The one that he walked into. He walked into a Greek wedding. Okay. Because she was saying she was smashing, they were about to do the smashing of the plates type of situation. And then, then chaos ensued. All right. I'm checking emails. I don't see anything so far. I don't see anything so far, but yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. I guess my question is the DJ saying what he heard the assailant say before he opened fire, or is it just another one that we've already heard where he just came in, he opened fire, there was chaos, people were scared, of course, understandably, and that's it, right? I guess that's the question that I have here too, right? Because I'm still trying to see what the deal is with this, because this is insane. The fact that they don't have any other information about, like, they haven't ID'd the assailant. They haven't given us any information about this guy. I think it's just kind of ridiculous. But there's all kinds of people online trying to come up with their own assumptions, saying, oh, yeah, this is the guy. Well, we don't know about all that. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking, guys. Sorry. And then people will put up content like that is not true. Like you're sitting there going, "Ooh, there's that." No, it's not it. So truly terrifying stuff, I will say. But for those of y'all who are just getting here that don't know what's going on, there was an assailant that walked into a wedding ceremony, okay? Basically a wedding reception, and opened fire on a room full of people. Apparently yelling profanity and all kinds of different things. Not only just the children are okay and free Palestine, but apparently he was saying a lot of other things too. I mean, if that's accurate, right? But he went in there and he caused a lot of tragedies. He hurt a lot of people, and he took the life of one individual right now. One. Another person has been hit in the face, and police are saying that there are other casualties, other GSWs, that they've been hit by this particular person, because this person walked in and he opened fire pretty quickly, and he opened fire very rapidly as well. It was a lot that he pulled the trigger on. So now we, of course, want to know what the hell's going on. And yeah, I mean, T, I agree. I mean, that's the other thing too. The whole Free Palestine thing has not been confirmed to be true. We just heard it from an eyewitness. But then again, the eyewitness could be telling the truth. You never know, right? So again, we got to see what happens, right? We got to see what comes of this, right? I mean, this is so crazy. This is so crazy. WLP just said, you have to understand, excuse me, it was a beautiful, cool night here in Nashua. Everybody was out downtown. Everybody was out. Downtown was hopping. And we're just not prepared. It took the focus of the entire police force and others. Obviously, of course it would. And I think it would be if they were totally prepared or not. You know, in any town or city, I think this would throw off so many people, right? This would throw off so many law enforcement departments in so many areas. I mean, just being completely real. So the DJ is the guy that I just said that we just already listened to. Oh, okay. So the guy that we already listened to is apparently the DJ. Let me just pull that up again, because I know everybody is wondering, because allegedly this gentleman right here is the DJ. So I already played this. Correct? Or no? Yeah, I just checked email. I just checked email. And this is exactly
going right for this person. So I feel terrible for him.
Did he dress him by name? Did you get the sense that they knew who?
Didn't hear anything. He just came out and said,
What he said?
yeah, what he said was the children are safe and, free Palestine.
What was that moment like when you heard the gunshots?
At first, I didn't realize it was gunshots. It sounded like balloons because, we were at a festivity thinking, maybe somebody popped the balloon.
Yeah, we already
But
heard
then you
this.
look around, we didn't have balloons. And it got serious because there was 2 and then 4 right away. That's what I heard anyway.
Yeah, so we already heard this. And so I got this from you, Ashley. I appreciate you. But yeah, you already sent this to me. Or this is what you sent to me. So one person has been lost his life, several injured after this assailant opened fire at a country club in Nashua, New Hampshire, while a wedding was taking place. One of the witnesses heard the assailant yell, "Free Palestine." Yeah. All right. Yep. This is the one. This is the same thing that we've already played. But I appreciate you sending it my way. But yeah, that is that we already played that one for sure. DJ wore a blue shirt. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm scouring the internet trying to find the DJ, right? I'll try one more time, DJ. He's wearing a blue shirt. I don't see anybody so far in a blue shirt and a DJ. But here's the thing. If I do find it, I'll be sure to play it for you guys on the next show. But yeah, I don't see it anywhere right now, unfortunately. And I've been looking around and I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing right now. Okay. But here's the thing. We got the main facts, and the facts are this. Okay. The facts are this. One person has lost their life. Other people have been hurt. We have another person that received a GSW to the face. That person, I'm assuming, I feel like, unfortunately, it's safe to say that they're in critical condition. There could be other people, other casualties due to to other GSWs, but we don't know about any of those yet. Okay. Now, there are reports of people saying that this assailant walked in, screaming everything from profanities to the children are okay and free Palestine before opening fire and injuring, causing chaos, taking the life of one and injuring many others. Okay. But we don't know everything yet. The police are still doing everything they can to interrogate their, let me just put this in quotations, their person of interest. But their person of interest, this is all they have so far, which for me is trash. Okay. Let me see. WCVB News. I'll look. You guys really want me to see what this DJ has to say. So let me see if we can find the DJ one last time. Hold on. We looking. I mean, I'm pulling this up on YouTube and I don't see anything on YouTube showing that. But like I said, we will look at it another time because it is getting late. Okay. Yeah, the interview with the DJs on WCVB News. I'll look for it another time. Okay. It is getting late. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap this show up. Okay. But I did want to give you guys the important information, which is, of course, all right. Yeah, I'm not playing somebody else's other streams. I'm just not doing that. Okay. I can't. That gets my channel in trouble and all that stuff. I can't do that. Okay. With all the, it's out of respect to those other accounts, unless I got the okay by them to play their stuff on my channel, I'm not playing that stuff. Okay. But at the same time, main focus, main facts we already have. I mean, the DJ sure will hear a little bit more information on what his perspective was, but outside of that, we got as much information as we got right now. Right now, there's a monster that walked into a wedding reception for no reason whatsoever, screaming God knows what. Some people are saying that he was saying the children are okay, profanities, and of course, free Palestine. Then he started opening fire, walking through the area, walking into the kitchen, doing all kinds of stuff, making everybody have a very, very bad night. This is absolutely terrible. My heart goes out to the people, to all the victims and all that. This is absolutely devastating. This is messed up. And this is a situation that needs to stop happening. And it's happening everywhere. Y'all, I was at I was at an event last night, and I instantly in my mind, I'm like, this is a very open space. It's a very open space. Anyone can come up here and cause some serious trouble. And that's terrible. That's terrible that I even have to think about that. As I'm with friends and family, etc. It's absolutely insane that we can't go celebrate, as simple as going and celebrating people falling in love and spending their forever together. We can't even do that. We have too many of these types of tragedies happening, and there's got to be something that needs to be done as soon as possible. But unfortunately, we're too busy pointing the fingers at each other, too busy turning each other in as enemies because of the color of our politics, rather than the caring for each other because of the content of our character. And that's the sad part of the situation that we're living in right now. Something's got to change. But I've been saying that since the first time we ever discussed or covered a mass tragedy on this show. And I've been doing this show for years. And has anything changed? No, it has changed. But you want to know what it has done? It's changed for the worse. Guess what happened? It's gotten worse. It's revved up. Now we're seeing mass tragedies basically every week, basically every day. It's getting to that place where it's almost every day now. Yes, they may not be 20 people have lost their lives, but there's still at least one casualty or people traumatized, going through body trauma as well. Those that survive, the ones that suffer GSWs, the ones that suffer that PTSD from being this close from losing their life because some madman or madwoman decides to walk into a place and make their life a living hell for no reason. Something has got to change. But here's the thing. It's the powers that be, it's the higher ups that need to do something too. They need to start joining hands. They need to start reaching from across the aisle, showing love to each other and saying, hey, we need to find a happy medium because this is getting bad. And then it's got to be more than just that. It's more than just that. It's all of us too. They can implement all these rules and all these guidelines, but it also has to do with us too. We got to figure out how we are going to handle ourselves as well, because there are people who are too much getting into their feelings or too much where they feel like they can't do anything. They feel like they're lost. They feel like they're angry and they can't express their anger any other way but to pick up a weapon and pull the trigger. Something has got to change. You know, I posted this on my Facebook page on last Sunday. And it was something that was just running over my head over and over and over again. And here's the thing, Kimberly, you know, that won't happen, sure. But I can at least be optimistic. I can hope for that change. I can hope that one day we can wake up and we're actually trying to work towards something about controlling these chaotic situations so that our kids and our kids' don't have to experience these situations. And that's the problem. Now it's getting to the point where our kids are experiencing war zones in their own schools. And that's the one thing that we don't want our kids to have to experience. We want them to experience school, not school turning into a war zone, losing their best friends, experiencing death right in front of them. But here's the thing. It has to do with mental health as well. I know there's so many layers to this. There's layers to this, bro. There are layers to this. And I get it. There are layers to it. But here's the thing. This isn't just Trump's America, guys. Okay? Razel just said this. It's not just Trump's America. This was Biden's America. Then it was Trump's America. Then before that, it was Obama's America. It's only gotten worse over the past few presidents, and nothing has changed. Now, but I want to make this abundantly clear, because I really do think that mental health is a serious issue. So because like I said, if Trump was in power or if anybody else was in power, it'd be the same situation. We would still have problems. We would still have mass tragedies going on. There were still mass tragedies going on when Biden was in office, guys. It's the same situation. Just things have kicked up a notch, okay? And something's got to give. Something's got to change immediately. Now, what I want to say is that I posted this on Facebook and on Instagram last weekend. And it was something that was just like, it was just sitting there, in me. And I was like, okay, I want to share this, right? And listen, I don't have the answers. Shoot, I'm just a guy on a microphone. Okay? I'm not the be all end all. I'm just here to have conversations with you guys and maybe inspire you guys to think and maybe inspire you guys in general for whatever reason. But I said something along the lines of, the devil will tell you two lies. One, that you're not enough. And two, that you're not loved. And I feel like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to get religious, okay? I'm not trying to throw the Bible in your faces, okay? This is not like you're not listening to Turning Point USA right now. I'm not trying to do that, okay? But I am trying to put a little bit of thought in your minds here, okay? Because I do think that there is a lot of evil and a lot of bad energy, negative energy that is permeating through the world right now, to the point where there are a lot of people that really truly believe that they're not enough, or they're not loved, or they don't think they're cool enough, or they don't know how to they feel like if they were to express themselves, they'll be made fun of, or maybe they feel like they're around the wrong people, so they can't express themselves. So then things become frustrating. Things become dark. That frustration makes them turn towards darkness and make very, very bad choices, to the point where their minds become more warped to do more bad things, to do something bad, like showing up to a mother-loving wedding and opening fire on innocent lives, right? But that's what the negative energy in the world is doing to all of us. There's way too much negative energy out here in these streets. Real talk. And there's got to be a way for us to go back towards positivity, going back towards hope, going back towards, I can do this, back towards manifestation, achievements. But I feel like there's a lot of people that are lost for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they're on the internet too much. Maybe because they're playing video games too damn much. I don't know. But I do think it's something that's dawned on me. It's three different things that negative energy does. It makes you think that you're not enough. It makes you think that you're not loved. And because of that, you become complacent. Complacency should be part of the devil's work. What happens when you sit stagnant? What happens when water is stagnant and just sits? It gets nasty, right? It gets smelly. Becomes dirty. Water needs to flow. There needs to be movement. There needs to be progression. But if you are complacent in those negative thoughts, what happens? You stay still. Those thoughts tend to fester, get worse, get murky, get smelly, get darker. That water isn't clear anymore. Is it not? So think about that in your mind. And I feel like that's what's going on with a lot of these people. I mean, like I said, I'm not in their minds. I'm not, like I said, I'm just a guy on a microphone. And I'm just speaking from the heart here. But the more we hear these stories, the more we hear and report and cover these cases, the more I realize that a lot of these people either felt stuck, either didn't know where to go because of feeling stuck, got stuck in their own thoughts, whatever those thoughts were, weren't willing to find progression, find the right people to help them get through that sticky part of their emotional journey or mental health journey. But they find a place that allows them and actually emboldens their complacency. And it festers and it gets worse. to the point where it gets violent. And there's got to be something out there, I'm not saying, this is not me being like, go get the Bible, go read you some Bibles. No, I'm not saying that at all. But there's got to be something out there that's going to get all of us, because we all have our moments of complacency, that's going to actually shake us out of that quickly. Because you know for a fact, we all have our moments. All of us do. Just thank God not all of us are willing to go get a weapon and take that frustration out on somebody else. But nonetheless, these particular situations that keep on happening, it's not only just the weapon. It's not only just controlling that. It's also finding ways to get those people that are feeling this way the help that they properly need to get them out of that stuck in the mud complacency, out of that negative zone. And some of these people are sitting there stuck in that zone for years. I'm not talking just a month or two. I'm talking years. And they don't know how to get out. I don't know, guys. I'm just so sick and tired of covering these kinds of cases. We still talk about them because they matter, because these are innocent lives that are losing their lives. And I hope that one day I can look back and go, remember when we were covering those things? Those things don't happen as much anymore. If not ever. Because somebody actually listened to this podcast, or maybe some sort of way of trickle down. Whatever I'm saying is pouring into somebody's ear, that's going to somebody's ear, that's going to somebody's ear, to the point where they realize, yeah, complacency is the devil. It is evil. And you are loved, and you are enough. Let's sit down and talk. I don't care if I agree with what you're saying or not. I just want to hear you. Let me just be your ear. Let me just be your listening ear. We're not listening to each other anymore. We really aren't. But I guess this is the reason why I guess that's my whole motto of this show, is hoping that the more we talk, the more we will all listen to each other rather than going after each other. It all starts with a conversation, right? One conversation at a time. I'm hopeful. We'll see what happens. Let me get some of these super chats here really quick. So, Tipsy, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for being a fantastic mod. And shout out to all my mods. You guys are all incredible. I appreciate every single last one of y'all. Seriously, I really do. Rock on. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pascal, for having a way to make us feel safe with your reporting in an unsafe world. Of course. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I just hope that one day, whatever I'm saying is going to, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not Socrates. I'm not Aristotle. You know what I mean? I'm not some profound, brilliant individual, but, I care for people. And these tragedies are one too many. And now they're getting really, really wild. I mean, they've always been wild, but now you're hearing, oh, it's at a school, or, oh, it's at a church filled with children. Oh, now it's at a wedding. It's diabolical, y'all. The negative energy is permeating at an all-time high. The negative vibrations are vibrating at an all-time high, and we need to find a way to dumb that down and bring that positivity, vibrance all the way up to the freaking to freaking Pluto, okay? Beyond this galaxy. Real talk. And I'm not trying to sound all like I don't even know if that sounded very holistic-y, okay? I'm not here smelling like patchouli up in this mug. But you know what I'm saying, okay? There needs to be a new vibration. Whatever that, however we do it, we need to do it as soon as possible, because this world, this country, we are spinning off orbit. It's getting bad. It's getting very, very bad, okay? And then everything that we're seeing inside the White House that's going on right now, a lot of things are percolating. There's a lot of things that are not good right now, guys. Okay? Yeah, beyond Uranus. yeah, before I go. Okay? But yeah, there's a lot that needs to change as soon as possible, because this could be very bad. It's already bad, guys. It's already bad, but it could get a lot worse. Shinobi, thank you so much for the love. I appreciate you. Thank you for running with facts and waiting for facts and not running on emotions. I saw others whipping agendas tonight. Yeah, I go to you when I need that calm. Thank you for facts and common sense. Hysteria can lead to bad things. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. Like I said, we're hearing things from people. And yes, those are eyewitnesses. I'm not trying to downgrade what the witnesses said. I'm just saying, let's hear what happens. For a fact, tomorrow morning, guy will, by the time we wake up, guy will be fully arrested. His face, his mugshot will be out here for everybody to see. And there will be more information for show. And we'll be like, so he was that kind of mother lover. Or it's, he's just absolutely unhinged. He just lost his doggone mind. I bet. Probably see all the above, right? He's that kind of mother lover, and he lost his doggone mind, right? That's probably what the case is. But I say, let's just wait until we actually get all the facts. And when we do that, we'll talk about it. We'll be talking about it for show. Trust and believe. We'll be talking about it. Yeah, for sure it's another wacko. For sure it's another person who's lost his mind. Without a shadow of a doubt. Who thinks in their mind, like, here it is. You got to be a special kind of crazy. I'm being real. You got to be a special kind of crazy to sit there and go, I'm going to go into a wedding and make their best day of their life the worst moment of their life. You understand how crazy and diabolical that is? I mean, for anything, going into a movie theater, going into a school, all of those things are crazy, okay? But it's another thing to go when we hear about mass tragedies at funerals. You got a death at a funeral? Multiple deaths at a funeral? You are out of your freaking mind, man. Now you got weddings. This is a new one for me. Never heard about this before in my life. A mass tragedy at a wedding. You have got to be out your damn mind. And I think we all can agree on that. You got to be out your mind. Okay? But let us be real. It's been a late night, so I'm going to hop off here. But if we get more information, I'll let you guys know. I promise. All right? So stay tuned. Of course. Here's the other thing too, just so you guys know. I will be watching the memorial service tomorrow, but I will be late. I'm just letting you guys know. But if you're willing to join me a little bit later, I will be, checking it out and catching up and seeing, the speeches and all that stuff that's going on. Just so you know, I will be late. I just want to make that abundantly clear. I will be late. So I'm not going to start exactly on time when the whole thing starts, but I will be on nonetheless to watch this whole thizang go down. Okay? The whole memorial service. So be sure to tune in, okay, when I start. Okay? But I am going to be late. Tomorrow's a busy day. And I'm sure it's a busy day for y'all too. So, okay? So again, Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be talking here very, very soon. That is the show, guys. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure before you head out to hit that like button down below. Hit that reaction button. Please follow me on the TikTok. Also, follow me on Facebook. Please follow my Facebook page. I'm giving you guys all kinds of updates over there as well. Okay? But follow on these 3 platforms: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Okay? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe. Don't forget, check out my other 2 YouTube channels, The Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. Make sure you're subscribing to both of those. That'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay? Hit that notification bell on all of those platforms. Set it to all. Okay? So you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Have a safe and wonderful, relaxing rest of your day. I appreciate all y'all, or rest of your night, I'm sorry. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon. Stay safe out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.